Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's not Thursday, but I do have a new beer here for you. You can find me at tubajake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too, because I'm going to tell stories, because that's a thing that I do. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that other people can see this, because I like it when other people see this. So the beer I've got for you today is called Change of Heart. It's an experimental IPA from Bell's Brewery out of Comstock there, down near Kalamazoo. I've heard good things. It's different. Go figure, it's experimental. So hopefully it will be good. Let's see. All right, so I'm really seriously not expecting, well, I mean, I have no idea what I'm expecting from out of this. I've heard good things. My guess is it's going to be kind of like the Two-Hearted, but maybe it's more like the Hazy-Hearted. It's not as dark as what I remember a Two-Hearted being, so that's a thing. It's a little bit hazier, a little bit hazy, but I can still see through it. It's a lot lighter than any of these other ones that I've had in general, which is cool. I've read that it's good. That's about it. All that I've heard about it. I didn't look at it at all because I don't know. I haven't had one of these because I bought it in a 12-pack and it was not cold, so I did not have one yet. Smells like pine trees, but not like heavily like pine trees in a grapefruit orchard. You call it grapefruit orchard an orchard? Huh. It tastes hazy. Grapefruity, not piney. It smells kind of piney, but not piney like you would normally get from a Two-Hearted. It's light on the tongue. What does this say? 6.8% ABV, so it's still kind of heavy. On the heavier side of light, I guess, is what you'd call it, because I'd figure 6 below is light and 6.8 is right on that edge. It's, I don't know, it's got that brut quality to it. Brettanomyces makes it so that the beer doesn't have a bitter flavor to it, and this is not bitter. It's not. My guess is that this is probably done with some Brettanomyces enzyme, which makes it, I don't know, it's a Brut IPA. It's spelled B-R-U-T, if you were wondering. It doesn't taste bad. It actually tastes really good, which is, I mean, it's supposed to. It's supposed to taste like, I guess, like beer. Is there a beer that this reminds me of? I can think of a couple. The first one that came to mind because of the taste precisely, and there's a little bit of a burn at on the aftertaste, like back in your throat. It was Slurmlord. It's one from Shorts. It always tasted. I mean, I liked it. It tasted good, but it always felt like you were drinking a little bit of fiberglass as you're drinking it. So I liked drinking it, but also it was one of those that you have to have like 3 before you can get over that feeling. So I don't know. You like it? You must. The other one that it reminds me of is the Old Nation. What is that? B43. That's their Brut IPA, which is pretty decent. If I remember correctly, Brets have a tendency to foam a lot when you open them up. Wow. Lots of lacing on this guy right here. They'd be proud, I'm sure. Let's see. Does this remind me of a story? Okay, so sort of. We'll go sort of. And mostly it's just because it ties into other things that I've been thinking about recently. So a couple years ago, I don't remember if it was after the pandemic or before the pandemic. I think it was after the pandemic. My dad started talking, because, you know, I live in Michigan, and you can drive, because I live in the middle of Michigan, you can drive one way and see the sunrise on the equinox, and drive the other side and see the sunset on the equinox. Vernal, autumnal, whichever. So in the spring and the fall. So one day, it was the day of the equinox. I had that day off. Actually, I had the day before that off, and I had the day after that off. So I decided to get my tail up early in the morning and drive to, well, I ended up in Port Austin, to Port Huron, because that's where I wanted to go, because it's kind of a straight shot from where I'm at, to watch the sunrise over Lake Michigan, which is kind of neat, if you get a chance to do that. The weird thing that I saw was the windmills in Canada. Like, you can see across into Sarnia and buildings and whatnot, and that's kind of cool. But driving over there, I mean, it was by myself, because I was like, hey, Dad, do you want to go? Because it was his idea. And he was like, nah, I don't think I'm going this time. And I was like, okay, cool. And I went to bed, and I got up at 4 in the morning, and was it 4? I think it was 4. And drove over there, and the sun was just breaking as I stepped onto the beach. Like, I had to stop and get gas because I didn't realize that I would need gas. And I could, the sun was starting to come up, like the sky was lightening. I want to say that there were like 6 other cars or so around in there. I parked as close as I could, but like the way to get into this park was like down a cul-de-sac kind of thing, and I didn't feel comfortable parking there because it's like a dead end. Not really like a cul-de-sac, like it dead ends at the beach, and then you kind of walk off into the park. So I parked at a business just down the road, like at the end of this dead end street, and walked back in, and it was fine. It was springtime. There wasn't any snow on the ground, so that was nice. Was not real warm. Got a couple of good pictures, which is cool. Yeah. So like I said, I went and did this. It was super early in the morning because, you know, the sun comes up early. And then I drove back. I was tired all day and hung out with my parents because they lived next door. And they couldn't figure out why I was so tired. I mean, like, what had I done all day, right? Because I went and got gas and stopped at Meijer on my way home because I needed something to eat because I was hungry. Because at that point, I'd been up for 5 hours and hadn't had anything to eat yet because I didn't go to bed any earlier than normal. I think that's about when I decided to start doing this, actually. Yeah, during the pandemic. Right around March. Yeah. It was an interesting day. A long day. Interesting. Very nappy. It was great. Like lots of naps, not like my hair was messed up. Anyway, I've got a quote for you. This one's from Jackie Joyner Kersey. She's very fast. That was weird. So anyway, this one's from Jackie Joyner Kersey. She's very fast. She said, "It is better to look ahead and prepare than to look back and regret." It's a good thing that I was prepared for that trip out there, and I don't regret it at all. So that's great. Lots of things coming up. It'll be super cool. Anyway, don't forget, you can find me on Untapped YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at _69. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too, because I'm going to keep telling stories, because it's what I do. I like doing this, so I'm going to keep doing it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that people get to see more of this. On YouTube, click that little bell thing so that you're notified when I put one of these out, because it's kind of sporadic, because that's how this works. I record on my days off and don't post them. Well, I post them that day usually. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I got for you. I'll see you next time when you got time for a beer.